Coach Johnny Toombs. Brought to you by American National Bank, Coca-Cola, Daily Fence Company, Domino's Pizza, Dr. Pepper, Speedies, Imagination, Piggly Wiggly, Gene Van, Action Center, Photomation, Jimmy Cobb Insurance, Hopkins Economart, Ramblin' Rose Florist, Teachers Credit Union, McGuire Sound, Davis Shoes, Century 21 All Points Realty, Texarkana Athletic Club, Regency House, Four States Physical Therapy, and Gary Treadway Homes of Distinction.
Welcome to Pleasant Grove Hawk Football. Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Johnny Toombs. Last Friday night at the Grove, it was homecoming night. Kristen Lures won the homecoming crown, and the best thing of all, of course, Pleasant Grove won the game 14-6. Johnny, an exciting football game. You're 4-4 overall for the year and 2-3 in the 15-3A.
Yeah, and that's 2 in a row, Gary, and we have 2 more home games to complete the season, and the Hawks are really playing well. We used a very stingy defense and a pretty opportunistic offense to get a couple of scores on the board. It was a very good homecoming victory, I think our first ever, and it was probably as dry a homecoming as we've ever had, even though it sprinkled a little bit. But it was a good night for football, and we're very pleased with the win.
Mr. Hodges, John Hodges had another good night for Pleasant Grove. Terrence Tuck had a good night as well.
We got 170 yards rushing out of the 2 guys at our tailback position. They've really complemented each other well. John has just played fantastic on both sides of the football. He had another pass interception that set up our second score. That's 4 interceptions in 2 weeks for him, plus he had the good night rushing, and the offensive line just played tremendous in front of him.
Jeff Wright started a game at quarterback and played almost the entire ball game. Is that right, at quarterback?
He did play the entire ball game. We threw a lot the first half. We saw some things that we thought we could do, but the passing game was not clicking like it should. Jeff missed a couple and had a couple of receivers to drop a few. So in the second half, we went back to the rushing game and was able to put another score on the board to ice the game away.
Another big night for your defense. Seemed like they were actually, Atlanta had 76 yards rushing and only 66 passing. So again, with 7 first downs, so you have to compliment your defense.
Oh, the defense played fantastic. Atlanta did not have a first down until they scored, I think, right before half. And the defense also made a big 4th and 1 play about midfield with about, 3.5, 4 minutes to go in the ball game to really save the game for us. And they couldn't play much better than they played Friday night.
With your passing in the first half, I think you were 3 of 12. Your rushing seemed to be pretty well that first 2 quarters of action. You went basically back to more rushing in the last 2 quarters, right, over the passing?
Well, we tried to make some things happen that, probably tried to force a few things. We're like everyone else. We'd like to throw the ball and get the easy scores, but it just doesn't seem to come that easy for us. We had some receivers open, and, there again, this was only Jeff's, it was his first complete ball game to play ever on the varsity level. He missed a couple of people, tried to throw deep a couple of times when the short man was open, and then we had some receivers to drop some. We caught one out of bounds, and it just wasn't working real well for us. So at halftime, I looked over the stats, and we had 125 yards rushing. And, we decided at halftime that until Atlanta stopped our rushing attack, we were going to come out running in the second half.
Being that this was homecoming week, a lot of times the players are very nervous about homecoming week. They want to win real bad, and certainly this is the first you actually were able to come on and win the ball game.
Yeah, I think the seniors especially are going to remember that in years to come. It was a strange night for us Friday night. The players didn't seem to be real excited. It was just kind of a quiet lull over the stadium the first half, and we really did a little soul-searching at halftime and tried to encourage the kids to play with emotion, because we're not a very good football team when we don't play with emotion, and we didn't have a lot in the first half. But came out in the second half, got a little more fired up, and didn't play as well as we'd like to have at times, but we played well enough to win, and we're not to the point where we're going to be unhappy over any wins, especially not over Atlanta.
Well, we've got a lot of excitement coming your way for the first 2 quarters, but first, these messages.
American National Bank offers you 2 convenient locations serving Northwest Texarkana. Visit our main office at 2301 Richmond Road or our new branch at 5126 Summerhill, where you receive the same courteous service for all your financial needs. Our Summerhill branch offers 3 drive-through windows, deposit and withdrawal from the convenience of your car with our drive-through Max 24. Your financial leader in Northwest Texarkana, American National Bank, 2301 Richmond Road and 5126 Summerhill.
I've got an idea. Why doesn't New Coke have a taste test where New Coke takes on Pepsi, and we'll call it the New Coke Pop Quiz? They have? Where?
When Coke did take on Pepsi in nationwide tests, more people chose Coke over Pepsi. Prove it to yourself. You'll see why more people are choosing the taste of Coke. Catch the wave. Coke.
I've got another idea, but I'm not telling you.
It's homecoming Friday night. Johnny Toombs with a big conference game with Atlanta.
Yeah, they're all big ones. And of course, at this stage of the season, everyone's trying to finish as high up the ladder as they can. Atlanta's had their troubles. They came into the ball game 1-6. Of course, the Hawks at 3-4, and we were able to even our season record at 4-4 and move to 2-3 in district. Brian Baker kicks the ball off. We nearly got a break here. Atlanta fumbles, and we couldn't come up with the football, but good coverage by our kickoff team. The defense just really played well. This is Tucker missed the tackle there, slowed him down enough for Todd Hiron to get there. Chad Dodson and Keith Fincher at the defensive end put pressure on the passer, and he throws the ball away. And 1-2-3 kick on the first series, and the short punt rolls dead on our 40-yard line. So the Hawks start out with good field position. Jeff Wright hands off to John Hodges behind Hiron's block. We got a break there. The ball bounced loose, but the whistle had already blown. So we come back to the other side. John stumbles a little bit, and not much doing there. So we run the sprint out pass, and Jeff hits Fred Jones on the sideline. An outstanding catch there by Fred. Come up a little short, about a yard short for the first down. So Terrence Tucker punts the ball, and Atlanta's going to start now on the 30-yard line. So an even exchange there in the first two series. The linebackers really stacked that one up. Todd Hiron, Paul Ubry, Matt Robertson. The two techniques are Kevin Whitworth and Gary Early. Good play there by the defense to prevent the sweep from gaining the needed yardage. And the punt was not fielded, and as usually happens, we lost about 12 or 13 yards on the roll, and the Hawks are going to start on the 14-yard line. Atlanta did a good job defensively inside to stop Todd Hiron. We didn't have much luck on the fullback sweep, but Tucker makes a good run outside behind blocks by Dodson and Tommy Welch and J.J. Strickland and Elmer Beasley, and then Tucker back to the other side, picks up the first down. We run the play again, and not much doing this time. So with 2nd and 8 from the 30, we sprint out again, and Jeff tucks the ball away, and he's learned his lesson. He got out of bounds this time, and that's the play or the way Jeff got hurt against Jefferson, and this time he got what he could and got out of bounds, but no first down on that series, and we got a break here. The runners really got outside our containment and dropped the football, and Atlanta's on the 40-yard line now.
They've got a big fullback at number 34 for Atlanta.
Their fullback was 210 and their tailback was 225. They were very big youngsters. Atlanta was very large. They don't have the speed that a lot of people that we play have, and we matched up pretty well against them there. The defense, again, just did a super job, and John Hodges, from this point on, is going to do a great job fielding the punts. We try a little reverse to Tucker, and he gets outside, and he's going to pick up 5 or 6 yards to give a pretty good first down play. We come back with Hodges behind J.J. Strickland and Todd Hiron's block. A good run by John, protecting the football, moves up a little closer to midfield. Hiron there behind Steve Farquhar's block and Gary Early's block. And we're about the 48-yard line, and we punt the ball, and Terrence had that one off the side of his foot, and we got a little roll, and Atlanta starts on the 25-yard line. Atlanta has not made a first down, and they're not going to make one for a while. Our defense there again just really played well. Steve Cullen got his first start in the secondary after his injury, and Hodges and Tucker and John Simpson did a very good job in the secondary. And Atlanta punts, and John makes the fair catch again. Trap up the middle, a few yards for Tucker. Come back and run it again, and we're going to pick up the first down to the 49-yard line in Atlanta's territory. The sweep to Tucker is going to pick up 3 or 4 yards. And then the sweep back to Hiron, and Todd makes a great effort there. He bounces off a couple of tacklers and makes 3 or 4 yards. We just couldn't get clicking on our passes. Pretty good pass here, just a little bit overthrown, just a little bit out of skipper's reach, and I believe Brian Baker is going to punt the rest of the game, punts it down to the 16-yard line. Cody West was hurt on that play. His knee bent up under him, and had a very sore knee Saturday morning. We don't know what Cody's status is going to be. Hopefully it's just a strain. But as you can see, there's a lot of black shirts and black hats all around the ball carriers. The defense really did a good job. We go for the punt block and not able to get there, and John makes the fair catch again. Quick pitch to Hodges behind Coleman's block and chased down in front of our bench there. This is a good pass here and a great catch by John Hodges. He got his feet down on the 26-yard line. John comes back then behind some good blocks from Beasley and Welch and Dodson to move down to the 20. And we're just going to gear up now and run it in. This is a good run by John down inside the 5. Then down to about the 6-inch line, and this was disappointing. We tried a quarterback sneak, and we got a penalty for motion, but we come back and run off tackle. The place been so good to us for the score.
John Hodges with a 6-yard run. Of course, Brian Baker is true with the PAT. Johnny, John Hodges had a great night. 19 carries with 96 yards. Had 2 receptions with 42 yards there also.
And then played well on defense with the interception. He catches the ball on our punts, and John is a good all-around ball player. And poor Brian Baker booted both extra points. Those things must have gone 50 yards each, and he's well now. So we feel good about the Hawks, and the defense there again. I think gave up the first down there, but then we recovered the fumble. This is right before half, and of course, we want to go to the air and try to score, and this is going to be disappointing. Fred Jones makes a tremendous catch here, and one of the officials said he was out of bounds. From this angle, it was very close, but we drop another one, and then we drop the third pass in the series and have to kick the ball away right before half, and we lose our containment here. And Atlanta makes a good run. They're going to get out to about midfield, and we just kind of have a letdown, and it's disappointing to us. We really come out hammering them on first down. And this is probably the touchdown pass. I believe it is. They just ran right by our secondary man. He's wide open. This is from Beecham to Clayton, I believe, and the first score of the game for Atlanta.
Actually, it was Andre Allen, a 35-yard pass from Brett Beecham. And the kick fell in the 7-6 late in the second quarter.
And that's an all-important extra point. It allowed the Hawks to have a 7-6 lead instead of being tied 7-7. It makes a big difference in the play calling. At least we're ahead. We try to throw here right before half, and good effort here from Tucker, but it was tipped away. And John Hodges makes a good run to get the first down to allow us to keep going, and just going to make a great play here at the very last play of the game. We thought we could get in field goal range, and John broke it a little further probably than we needed to. We thought he was going to score, but he makes a good open field run. He picks up a block there by Cliff Jones and gets down inside the 20. On the last play of the ball game. So, we threatened right before halftime. We were very disappointed at halftime. We were ahead 7-6, but we felt like we should have been ahead about 14-0, really, as we, there again, just did not play with any emotion in the first half, and that disappointed us.
That defense Friday night has to really be commended. They were all over the football, and there were 6 and 7 black jerseys everywhere.
They really did. They swarmed to the football. They played very intelligently, which pleases. We ran a lot of stunts at Atlanta, and I don't know of many that we busted. We had the right guys at the right spot. Mike Burks did a good job calling the defenses. We defended the pass fairly well. We gave up the touchdown pass, and they had a couple of drop passes, but we're doing a better job in the secondary, and the defense really carried it to Atlanta all night long.
One thing you really are proud to see when you look at statistics after the game is you had no turnovers. And there were 2 turnovers, one for a fumble loss for Atlanta, and then they had interception.
The turnover, can really, especially in a high school football game, can really be damaging to you. We got a break late in the ball game. We actually had 1 turnover, but there was an inadvertent whistle, and it was a big turning point in the ball game. Of course, if you're sitting on Atlanta's side of the field, it was even more important, I guess. But with about 4 minutes to go in the ball game, we were really trying to run the clock out. We fumbled, and Atlanta did recover, but the whistle was blown, and of course the play was played over. But we did do a good job holding on the football, and that's very important to us.
Your offense again, you had your rushing attack going real well for you with Tucker and Hodges. Of course, Tyler Hiron is still running strong in the backfield, and Jeff Wright. It was just a situation last week. He had some bombs that were hit, but this week. They were defending for him there on that.
Well, Queen City played a different scheme from Atlanta. Queen City forced the line of scrimmage, dared us to throw the football, which we were able to do well. Atlanta played a little bit different scheme. They defended the long pass, and there again it's going to take time for Jeff, but we tried to force in a few long passes when our short receiver was open. And, in his defense, we dropped 2 or 3 also. And we're going to be able to throw the football, but, our bread and butter is going to continue to be the run, and we're hard-headed, but hopefully we're hard-headed enough to change when we have to. And we drew in the first half because we thought it was there. And at halftime, we realized we needed to run the football, and the Hawks were able to come out and do that.
Well, we still got a lot of excitement coming your way for these next 2 quarters, but first, these messages.
Slim single singer seeks a different drummer. To make unusual music together, I'm turned on by the offbeat. Must be very, very cool. Able to keep my music in tune and my body in tune. Offbeat, very cool. A flying Dr. Throw your
Daily Fence Company, serving Texarkana with quality in the board and chain fencing business, now offers cloth awnings at an unbelievable price. For patios, storefronts, even windows, enhance the beauty of your home or business with durable awnings. Regulate the warmth and brilliance of the sun with a wide variety of colors and styles to choose from. Call today. Free estimates or planning service. Satisfaction is guaranteed. Cloth awnings, now at Daily Fence Company. Call 838-7892.
Today at Gene Van in Texarkana, another incredible deal on a brand new Oldsmobile. Now, for a limited time only, 1987 Olds Cutlass Supreme or Cutlass Sierra. Take your pick. Just $1 down and $1 under invoice. That's $1 down and $1 under invoice on your choice of any 1987 Olds Cutlass Supreme or Cutlass Sierra in stock. But this offer for a limited time only, so come in today. If you live in Atlanta, Linden, Marshall, Gladewater, or Gilmer, give us a call right now at Gene Van in Texarkana.
Pleasant Grove with a 7-6 lead. Atlanta will be kicking off to Pleasant Grove, and these next 2 quarters do get exciting, Johnny.
Well, we thought they were awful exciting. We made up our mind at halftime, of course, that we're going to receive the kickoff, and we need to get down the field, and John Hodges does a good job behind some good blocking on the kick return. Give us good field position, and boy, it really makes a difference whether you're on the 40 or the 20. We give the ball to Hiron, and he runs hard for 4 yards, and then we come back with Tucker outside, and going to pick up a first down back to the 40-yard line. We're not going to score on this series, but we're going to maintain field position and establish something. Hiron again, rather inside, and Hodges outside, cuts up inside tough to the 25 for the first down. We tried counter, and Atlanta jumped into a defense that they hadn't run all night long. They stunned it in the middle and kind of thwarted that, and then we get sacked and really drive us out of field goal range. Brian could have had a good shot at it. Would have been a 50-yard field goal, but with a 1-point lead, that would have pushed it to 4. We just didn't think it was worth the risk. We kicked in the end zone, which, of course, we were disappointed in. We wanted to kill the ball down close, but we're going to make a good defensive stand again against Atlanta. They throw Beecham here. He gains about 3 yards. Then we're going to come out and give them the first down on this little quick out pattern to the 34. But then after the fullback stopped in the middle, they're going to come back and throw the interception, and boy, John makes a beautiful play on it. He breaks to the ball well, gets up high, and picks up some good blocks from Kenny Tipton, and I'm not sure who all was out there. It looked like Tucker got one there. He gets all the way down to the 14, and Atlanta's called for spearing on top of that. So on first down from the 6 or 7 yard line, Tucker's going to cut back against the grain, really hammer a kid at the goal line to get in for the score.
7-yard run for Terrence Tucker and a tough 7. Of course, Brian Baker always with a PAT. He's just an excellent young kicker.
I believe that's 15 out of 16 for the year. And, of course, he's responded well on the field goals. They hadn't had any opportunities for field goals in the last few games, but that extra point he kicked, someone said hit the fence at the back of the stadium there, and he's really an outstanding kicker. Pretty good kick return there for Atlanta. Todd Hiron and Paul Ubry in on that tackle to stack up their big fullback. Boy, the fullback was very strong. This is a good job here by Matt Robertson. Got some help from his friends on the sweep, and Atlanta punts, and John Hodges makes a good fair catch. Hawks start out with good field position again, and we're running the same play quite a few times, but Atlanta was having trouble with her off-tackle play, and then we mixed in a Hiron run up the middle, but penalty stopped us on this drive. We jumped off sides, and Brian Baker kicked the ball away. A good punt, and receiver caught the ball on the 20, and we're going to stack him up right there. Atlanta used a lot of motion trying to get outside. This is a 225-pound tailback, but Terrence Tucker put him down on the sweep. And we move into the fourth quarter, nursing that 8-point lead. Another good tackle by Tucker on the sweep. John Simpson there to try to get the team fired up. We do a pretty good job on the option here, but he gets outside, and Hodges and Tucker again run him out of bounds after a first down effort.
That's a beautiful play there in the backfield, Johnny.
That's the way we've been coaching it all year. John broke through the tackle and made a good play on the runner for a loss. They come out on the option. Barry Odom hustling hard, almost gets there, but makes a good play. And Atlanta's going to punt the ball away to us again as we're moving on down to about the 8-minute mark, 9-minute mark in the fourth quarter. And, of course, the thing in our mind now is, you know, we've got the 8-point lead. We'd like to have more, but we don't want to beat ourselves like we nearly did last week against Queen City. We don't have to want to come from behind and score at the end of the ball game. If we take care of our business, we're okay. That was the whistle there, I believe, on the fumble. But with third down, we come out and run the quick pitch, and we're going to have holding called on this play. We get the first down, but it's going to move it back and cost us some 30 yards in total yardage there. Jeff scrambling around on the bootleg, throws the ball away at Dotson's feet. Chad can't handle it, and we punt with, I believe there's about 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Some hard hitting here. This gives you some idea. The Atlanta runner didn't want to go down, and he was really hit by several of the Hawk defenders. Kevin Whitworth made a big play. And by the way, Kevin came up with another fumble recovery this week. Fumble caused by Hiron and Hodges.
Was that a swinging door type of offense they set up?
We hadn't seen that one before. It's a swinging door to both sides, and they ran a screen, and it was a pretty effective play. But, boy, we missed the big fourth down play while we were talking. But the Hawks really rallied on 4th and 1 after the strange play and made a big defensive play. And we're going to be able to keep the ball moving, and Atlanta does not stop the clock, and we're able to run the ball on down, run the clock out, and a bunch of happy Hawks in the middle of the field after this one. We win our first homecoming game and win 2 in a row and even our record up, and a lot of good, satisfactory things happened to us Friday night on the field.
Next week, you play Hooks and have a chance. You have 2 games left in the 87 season. You like to say you're 4-4 overall and 2-3 in the conference. Have a chance to finish the year in real good shape.
And there's a lot of reasons for us to be excited next week. We've never beaten Hooks, for one thing. They've won the district the last 2 years. They're still in the playoff picture. They were upset a little bit. The Cab wouldn't consider it an upset, but they were beaten by the Cab. A lot of people didn't think the Cab would do it, but the Cab's done a great job up there and kind of knocked a little wind out of the Hornets' sail. And they're going to come down here, you can bet, ready to play the Hawks Friday night. But we're going to be ready for the challenge. That can put us on the winning side of the ledger for the time being, push us to 5-4, give us a chance to finish as high as 4th in conference. So we've got a lot of things to play for.
Hooks is kind of a rival for Pleasant Grove. They're probably the closest team as far as mileage in the conference for y'all, and that's always been kind of rivalry.
Yeah, and it's something that neither coaching staff can really explain, but I guess probably Hooks and Pleasant Grove has developed into one of the larger, bigger rivals in the area. You know, they haven't been playing us, obviously, as long as they have the New Bostons and the Cavs and places like that, but I don't think it's a case of our youngsters not liking each other, but when we line up against each other in athletic competition, there's no holds barred, and Hooks will be ready. As I mentioned, they're going to be in a bad mood, and they handled us very easily last year, when we had a chance to really be in the playoff picture. So it's going to be a lot of emotion on the football field Friday night.
We're going to talk more about the game next week with the Hooks Hornets, but first, these messages.
Timing's everything. They're counting on you to deliver the best because you are the best. I want it good, I want it hot, and I want it fast. 30 minutes or less. Remember, the team, the team, the team. Now get out there and deliver.
Let's go! Domino's Pizza delivers.
To me, Bo Shumba, no problem.
Hi, I'm Sherry Green for your Action Center Tape Clubs in Texarkana at our new College Hill location at 915 East Street and at our well-known location, 2000 New Boston Road. We rent movies every day for only $1. For only $1, you can rent all the latest releases. That's $1 for all movies all the time, and we're open Sundays and late at night at your Action Center movie clubs. Right now, the first 25 viewers to call at the end of this commercial will receive a free movie club membership and 1 free movie rental. Call now and ask for Sherry.
Get clean-burning Phillips 66 gasoline and other automotive products at Speedy's, Summerhill, and Kennedy Lane. The Speedy's snack bar features the best hamburgers in the territory. Specialty sandwiches, just $1.99, made fresh while you wait. Or home-style chicken dinners, $1.69 to $4.89. Speedy's has ice, drinks, groceries, and even dairy items. Enjoy Speedy's neighborhood service and convenience at the corner of Summerhill Road and Kennedy Lane.
Brought to you by MTV, RAD, and your local cable system.
The Hooks Hornets fly into the Grove next Friday night, Johnny, a 7:30 ball game and a 15-3 conference game.
And it's still a very important ball game for both of us. The standings are beginning to take shape a little bit. The district race, Lennon Kildare on top with a 5-0 record. They haven't clinched the championship yet. Hugh Springs is at 4-1 behind them, as is DeKalb at 4-1. Hooks is 3-2. The Hawks are in 5th place by themselves at 2-3. Queen City and Atlanta 1-4, and New Boston 0-5. DeKalb has Lennon and New Boston left, and Hooks has us and Hugh Springs left. So it's still going to be some interesting football the next 2 weeks.
Still anything can happen in 15-3A, evidently.
It always has been like that, and this is no exception. As we suspected early in the year, Lennon Kildare is the class of the league, and then there's several other teams that are battling for that second spot, and from top to bottom, the district's tough, as it always is.
Again, Johnny, good luck for next Friday night.
Thank you, Gary.
Before we close the show, we're going to go back to the Pleasant Grove field for last Friday night and look at some of the homecoming festivities. Until next week, join us again for Pleasant Grove Hawk football.
Our first sophomore princess, Miss Julie Adams. Julie is the daughter of Mrs. Kathy Nelson and Mr. Owen Adams. Julie is a junior varsity cheerleader and is currently the treasurer of the sophomore class. She was selected this year by the King Club to appear in the calendar. Julie is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Students, and in her spare time, she enjoys gymnastics. Miss Casey Williamson. Casey is the daughter of Avon and Sal Williamson, and is a junior varsity cheerleader. Casey was chosen last year as an All-American Cheerleader nominee by the National Cheerleader Association. A Class 2 gymnast, Casey is also a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She is involved in Kiets, the French Club, the Computer Science Club. Casey was chosen by the Key Club to appear in the 1988 calendar. Miss Chris Hill. Chris is the daughter of John D. Hill and Sandra Case. Chris is a member of the Pleasant Grove golf team, and she also serves in the drama club. She has been involved with Y teams and the French Club, and has currently been selected by the Key Club to appear in their calendar. Miss Carrie Oakley. Carrie is the daughter of Perry and Sarah Oakley. Carrie has been a cheerleader for 5 years and is currently a member of the varsity squad. She is secretary of the junior class and is a member Sharon character was chosen by the Key Club to appear in the 1988 calendar. She will also appear in the Pleasant Grove Drama Department production, Lizzie Borden. In her spare time, Carrie enjoys aerobics, swimming, and water skiing. Miss Sharon Turner. Sharon is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. James Turner, currently a varsity cheerleader. Sharon also played in the band for 5 years and was a major institute. She is a past president of the Octagon Club and a past vice president of the National Honor Society. She was chosen this year as the Key Club sweetheart who will appear on the cover of their calendar. Sharon is also involved in KES, the Inter Science Club, and the Spanish Club, and she has been a member of the Student Council for 3 years. Miss Tammy Wilk. Tammy is the daughter of Deanne Mosher and Danny Shelton. Tammy has been a cheerleader for 8 years and is currently head cheerleader of the varsity squad. She has served on the Student Council as a member of the Octagon Club. Tammy has also been involved with the Spanish Club, the National Honor Society, and is currently vice president of KES. Miss Kristen Lewis, our 1987 homecoming queen. Kristen is the daughter of Dr. and Mrs. James Lewis. Kristen has been a member of the Pleasant Grove golf team for the past 3 years. She is also a member of the KES, chosen by the Key Club to appear in their 1988 calendar. Kristen has been involved with the Spanish Club and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Students. She has served on the homecoming court for 3 years. Miss Kristen Lewis.
This has been Pleasant Grove Football. Brought to you by American National Bank, Coca-Cola, Daily Fence Company, Domino's Pizza, Dr. Pepper, Speedies, Imagination, Piggly Wiggly, Gene Van, Action Center, Photomation, Jimmy Cobb Insurance, Hopkins Economark, Ramblin' Rose Florist, Teachers Credit Union, McGuire Sound, Davis